Family first. Barron Trump, 12, enjoys a day off school as he joins a sneaker-clad Melania and a grinning Donald on trip to tornado-struck Alabama, before the trio heads off to sunny Mar-a-Lago. Barron Trump made a rare appearance alongside his parents on Friday morning, having apparently been allowed to miss a day of school in order to join the President and First Lady on a trip to tornado-ravaged Alabama, before heading on a weekend trip to Mar-a-Lago. The 12-year-old towered over his mother as the duo walked out of the White House to join Donald, 72, who addressed reporters before the family boarded Marine One to start their trip to Alabama. Barron, who attends school in Maryland, looked subdued as he walked across the South Lawn with Melania, 48, who appeared to be in great spirits, and was seen smiling and waving at the cameras as they made their way to the waiting helicopter. Her happy mood was apparently shared by her husband, who was seen grinning at the First Lady as she walked to join him on the grass, looking chic but casual in a pair of gleaming white $100 Adidas sneakers, and a pair of $188 burgundy J-brand jeans. Melania completed the low-key ensemble with a white knitted sweater and a navy blue Tommy Hilfiger pea coat. She also wore a pair of dark sunglasses, despite the gray and cloudy weather. Barron, meanwhile, was dressed in a warm $368 polo Ralph Lauren coat, which he wore with a pair of beige chinos and matching New Balance sneakers. As he and Melania met Donald on the lawn, the president actually remarked how much his son has grown, telling reporters, "He's getting big," while pointing proudly at the youngster. The first family then turned towards Marine One, with Trump placing his right hand on his wife's back in a sweet show of affection, before guiding her across the grass towards the helicopter, with Barron following on behind them. The president was dressed in a navy windbreaker, complete with the presidential seal, as well as a pair of beige chinos, much like those worn by his son, and a pair of dark brown shoes. He was also seen carrying a red MAGA hat. Donald, Melania, and Barron are heading to Alabama this morning to visit towns touched by recent storms, and were seen boarding Air Force One at Andrews Air Base, before touching town at Fort Benning on the Georgia-Alabama border a few hours later. The first couple is expected to visit rural Lee County in eastern Alabama, where 23 people died Sunday in a tornado with 170 mph winds. However, it is not known if Barron will join his parents for their visit to the area. Donald and Melania were seen leaving Air Force One shortly after its arrival at Fort Benning. However, their son was not seen with them, suggesting that he will skip out on the official engagements and reunite with his parents before the family flies to Florida. Barron is currently enrolled at a school in Maryland, where he started 7th grade in the fall of 2018. The school does not appear to have a half-day or holiday scheduled for Friday, which indicates that Barron may have missed a day in order to join his parents on their trip. After visiting tornado-struck areas in Alabama, Donald, Melania, and Barron will fly straight to Mar-a-Lago, where they will spend the weekend soaking up the sun, alongside Don Jr. and his girlfriend Kimberly Guilfoyle, who is celebrating her 50th birthday this weekend. It is thought that some of the president's other children will also join them in Florida, where Trump will host 2 evening events, a joint fundraising committee roundtable and a reception for Trump Victory, a Republican National Committee operation working in tandem with his 2020 re-election campaign. The first family's exact Alabama schedule was not shared prior to their departure on Friday morning. However, it is thought that they will leave for Palm Beach by 3 p.m. CST. Today, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump will travel to Lee County, Alabama to survey the devastation from the recent tornadoes, meet with survivors and local officials, and thank our brave first responders, the White House said of their trip as they departed. Lee County was one of at least 38 tornadoes confirmed to have touched down across the southeast in a deadly weekend outbreak. As the family left the White House, Trump said he would meet with Governor Kay Ivey and people who got hit very hard by the tornadoes. He also planned to thank first responders. The president also stopped to speak to reporters outside the White House about his former campaign chairman Paul Manafort, who received a 47-month prison sentence on Thursday for tax and bank fraud. Trump told members of the media that he empathizes with Manafort, saying, "I feel very badly for Paul Manafort. I think it's a very Very tough time for him. At the same time, he falsely claimed the judge who sentenced his former 2016 campaign chairman cleared his campaign of conspiring with the Kremlin to affect the presidential election's outcome. Both his lawyer, a highly respected man, and a highly respected judge, the judge said there was no collusion with Russia. This had nothing to do with collusion, Trump said on the South Lawn of the White House. There was no collusion. It's a collusion hoax. It's a collusion witch hoax. I don't collude with Russia. Extraordinary Melania Trump body double conspiracy sparks furious White House response. Bizarre online conspiracy theories about Melania Trump employing a body double to carry out her public engagements have sparked a brusque White House response. Twitter users reignited far-fetched speculation the First Lady in fact uses a body double while on public engagements. They referred to an image of the U.S. president and his wife during a recent visit to meet bereaved families of victims of ferocious tornadoes in Alabama which left 23 dead. The First Lady has also been promoting her Be Best anti-bullying initiative this week. Commenting on the photo, people argued Melania looks nothing like herself. One commented, "A body double for public appearances? How is this an acceptable practice? Seriously. There's a whole different level of bizarre with this family." Another joked, "I also use Rent-A Melania. It's the best." Meanwhile, someone else penned, "Genuinely think there is a chance he has no idea it's not her." But Melania's spokeswoman and communications director Stephanie Grisham attacked the ridiculous claims, denying their existence and asking why attention has focused on such a non-story. Ms. Grisham told CNN, "Once again, we find ourselves consumed with a ridiculous non-story when we could be talking about the work the First Lady is doing on behalf of children, including the opioid crisis that is gripping our nation." The First Lady is coming to the end of an unusually action-packed week. She embarked on a 3-state tour of Oklahoma, Washington, and Nevada to raise the profile of her Be Best project. The scheme has 3 core pillars: the well-being of children, social media, and online safety and opioid abuse. As part of the tour, Melania spoke out against the dangers of drugs this week during a press conference in Las Vegas on Tuesday. Warning of the dangers of substance abuse and the way she approaches the subject with her 12-year-old son Barron, the First Lady said, "I teach him. I try to explain how drugs are dangerous. It will mess up your head, it will mess up your body. Nothing comes positive out of it." During her appearance, Melania also attacked the media. She challenged outlets to focus more on the opioid crisis rather than writing about what she termed gossip. She said, "I wish the media would talk about more, and educate more. They do it already, but I think not enough." Melania Trump news, First Lady's real popularity revealed compared to President Donald. Melania Trump is more popular than her U.S. President husband Donald, it has been claimed. Findings of a new survey, published in America, showed the First Lady is loved by at least 51% of respondents, with Donald pushed into second place. Melania Trump stepped out alongside U.S. President husband Donald Trump just as results of a survey about her family were announced. The findings revealed the mom, 48, was the most popular member of her family and, quite literally, trumping her other half. The survey was conducted by The Economist and YouGov and showed 51% of respondents had either a very favorable or somewhat favorable opinion of the First Lady. Her controversial spouse, 72, came joint second with his daughter, Ivanka, on 44%. Next up, Donald Trump Jr. polled 36% favorability, then his younger brother Eric Trump at 32%. Jared Kushner came last and is viewed favorably by a mere 27% of Americans, according to the poll. The findings added how Melania's popularity had rocketed by 9 points since 2017. It appeared she was more well-liked by women, with more Democratic women surveyed than Republican. Meanwhile, Melania also courted the affections of style admirers during her latest outing. She sported skinny red trousers and Adidas trainers during her latest outing with Donald. They were snapped as they left the White House in Washington for Alabama, where the president is set to visit storm-hit areas. Ditching her heels, the First Lady opted for a more casual look for the journey. She looked relaxed in white and maroon Adidas trainers paired with matching skinny maroon trousers. She left her ankles bare, a nod to the improving spring weather and adding to the casual vibe of her look. Donald Trump's wife donned a chunky white knit which could be seen poking out beyond the cuffs of her navy blazer, which boasted large gold buttons. Melania wore her hair in loose waves which fell around her shoulders as she smiled at the cameras. She protected her eyes from the sun with a pair of large black sunglasses. Her son Barron donned beige New Balance trainers, beige chinos, and a navy puffy jacket for the journey. Donald Trump also wore beige chinos paired with a white shirt and a dark waterproof jacket. He held his red baseball hat in his hand.